Houston, we have a problem. The lack of financial knowledge between today's youth in America is very disturbing and alarming. I went to Sonic one Sunday morning right before church to get me a sweet tea. I wanted to pay the cashier in cash, so I gave her a $20 bill. The cashier in return gave me a $50 bill, a $10 bill, and three ones. When I looked at that, I said, "This is too much change. I am an honest person." So I gave that back to her, and she looked at me puzzled and confused, basically as if I had given her the wrong amount of money back. And I said, "Do you realize that you've given me too much money?" And she was like, "No, ma'am." I said, "Well, let's count this. I gave you a $20 bill. You gave me a 50, a 10, and three ones." And she said, "Ma'am, I'm so sorry about this. I didn't realize that I had done this." I knew at that moment that mandating financial literacy as a requirement for high school completion is essential for preventing financial pitfalls as well as improving equity and long-term stability that stimulates lifelong financial health. And by implementing these changes, students can avoid costly debt and make informed decisions to build a financial stability before reaching adulthood. And in this instance, it could have cost that young lady her job. The Department of Economics in California at Fullerton did a research study to see if teaching financial literacy to high school students would be effective. They offered each student an 8-course class. After texting financial literacy, it rose 13%, so it does make a difference. Basically, what we want to talk about today is what is financial literacy. According to Jared Mendoza, the chief of reporter with Accessible Law at the University of Texas, the definition varies depending on who you ask. But to put it broadly, financial literacy is to understand what to do with money and to have a secure position financially. So basically, why should we teach financial literacy to children, right? That's like the number one question. Teaching children about financial literacy is not just about saving money. It is about teaching them confidence, as well as decision-making skills and setting them up for lifelong successes. It should start as early as 2 or 3 years old. If your kid can count money, then you teach them how to count the coins at 2 or 3 years old. This is what I did for my children. You should teach them how to count and identify the money, as we discussed, save, and teach them to save that money for toys and candy. So instead of awarding them these things or going to the store and giving them things, give them money, let them earn it, and then teach them that their earnings is all they have to spend at the store in order to get their candy or their toys. That will let them decide, do I have enough money for this, or should I make a different financial decision? They should be able to monitor savings accounts as when they progress into adolescence and keep a balance of them at that point. So basically, there has been some disappropriate effects on Texas and minority communities in reference to financial stability and financial responsibility. The FINRA's most recent National Financial Compatibility Study in 2018 basically ranked 43rd among the 50 states. This is where Texas ranked. Texas ranked 43rd among the 50 states. This statistic indicates that Texas was subsequently behind the curve when it came to understanding finances. So it's not just a socioeconomic issue with these finances, it's also an issue with what state you live in, and from south to north. Texas also ranked 50 out of all 50 states in credit card debt. Texas racked up over $127 billion in credit card debt as far as the adults are, only beaten by the state of California. According to the National Center for Education and Statistics, Hispanics and Black students borrow $6,000 more whenever they attend college for their education than their white counterparts. Additionally, according to the Federal Reserve, Black borrowers have over 30% more debt than their white counterparts. Inadequacies like this create what experts call a racial debt gap. In conclusion, financially literate kids tend to pass these skills on to the next generation, building generational wealth, causing stability, and this is how we can close the gap between the socioeconomic statuses and create successful financial environments for the future, the economy, and its successors. So, financial literacy should be taught to children at a young age. There are benefits and statistics that show such things. Um, and once we start with our kids, then we can work on our adults. But our kids are the ones who's going to change our future.